I need my inhaler. It's the best I could do, you guys. My name's Stephanie Strickland. I'm with KGW TV, and I'm so happy to be here on the stage. Thank you very much for letting me join you today. I'm so excited about this guest because I have a million questions, but I can see people already lining up at the two microphones over there, which is a great way to ask your questions before I ask mine, although I might toss in one or two. I have to. So it is my distinct pleasure to introduce a man to you. Oh gosh, he's been Snake Eyes, he's been the Toad, he's been Darth Maul. Let's bring out Ray Park. Ray, come on out. Woo! Come on, Ray. How is everyone doing? Yeah. Anyone, you could take them both. You know why? Because I'm not going to mess with you, that business end of that guy right there. I've seen what you can do. It must be interesting to look at where your martial arts training has led you career-wise. Tell me a little bit about when you first got your start, because I actually don't know the answer to that. How young were you, and how long did it take before that sort of dovetailed into being on film?
My parents always tell me that I was jumping around and getting into stuff ever since I could walk. But my first martial art class was when I was 7. And that was purely because of Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Chuck Norris, ninja movies, American Ninja, and yeah, like anything to do with martial arts, I was hooked on as a kid, and sci-fi and anything, you know, Star Trek, Star Wars. And it so happens that G.I. Joe was the first toys that I had as a kid. So, and then I get to play Snake Eyes, so it's like I'm reliving my childhood. I
feel like I want to say to him, welcome home.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I mean, he just listed off everything that makes cons so completely awesome, particularly this one. It's just fun. I think as a mom of a young one, this guy, could you imagine him as a kid when he says, oh, jumping off everything, first martial arts class at age 7? I'm like, I'd be that mom, like, I need a martini. Because, you know, I imagine you were like...
I think I was a bit of a handful when I was younger. I was the kid that didn't like being at school. You know, I always wanted to be out there playing. I used to climb buildings. I was that. It's when, you know, when they have the drain pipes used to be metal.
Sure.
I was that. We stayed on like a 3 or 4 story flat, and I remember and I remember this, and there was scaffolding on the local church building. I was climbing it with my cousins. We were those type of kids.
Okay. You know? At the church.
Yeah. You know, and I remember Mom going, Ravens! I could hear her like screaming at me because she could see me from the window, and they told me that I climbed down the drain pipe, ran along the wall, and then climbed the church.
You were parkour before parkour. Like,
yeah.
You know, the pastor's all, Mrs. Park? Mrs. Park, are you in the... Okay, your son is outside on the roof? That's fantastic. That's a good story. Let's start with a question over here from you.
Two-parter. Would you be a Sith or a Jedi? And Ray Park, would you use a single or a two-sided lightsaber?
Oh, you know, I'm growing up watching ninja movies. And being Snake Eyes, I always had this fantasy with katana blades and samurai blades. Even when I was doing Kung Fu, because in Kung Fu we don't use those type of weapons. So I always had that, I always loved playing with it. I always had that fantasy with ninja. So of course I love the single-handed blade, but being Darth Maul, you know, I've got to use a double-bladed lightsaber. It's my thing, you know?
Yeah.
I've got to use it. So, and of course, thank you. I would love to be a Jedi, but I would love to be Darth Maul again. You know, play him in the movies.
Hey,
you know?
it's entirely possible. I have seen Clone Wars, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, see, you know.
See, it's possible. Let's go over here.
How long did it take you to do your makeup in Star Wars Episode 1?
I didn't do the makeup, but Paul England, the makeup artist, it took about 2 or 3 hours. Thinking back on it, like I was like the first one in, called in the mornings, like 5 o'clock. And I would use that time to catch up on my sleep.
So you can literally sleep while they do all that?
Yeah, and then because I didn't have much sleep the night before, because after, you know, I would be the last one to finish and then go to the gym and practice my gymnastics. But at that time, I was used to not having much sleep. I would be a twitcher, you know, when you twitch, you sleep.
Sure.
And so I got told off. I wasn't allowed to sleep after that, you know, because the makeup would send you to sleep. You're like soothing the brush like this, and then I'd be doing, you know, whoa, you know. So he's like, Ray, you're not allowed
The
to sleep.
messiest Darth Maul ever. They're like,
Yeah.
no, we have to redo that.
Yeah, and it was around the eyes and the nose he was worried about in case he poked me. So it was about 3 hours.
I can't imagine, like 3 hours, and that's it. You've got to live and breathe and do everything in that until it comes time to take it off. How long does it take? I mean, is it like sort of just normal like makeup, or does it take forever to get
Oh,
off?
it took forever. It didn't come off quick enough, you know. Because
Yeah.
my motivation was to get to the gym, you know, because I'd be rehearsing and filming all day, but I still wanted to get my gymnastics in and tumble. It was like an addiction. I wanted to spin and flip and bounce on a trampoline and get my fix in for that.
Was it? And I asked this. I'm going somewhere with this. Was it a private gym or a public one? Because you know he
Public.
showed up with the makeup still on, and people were like,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. See, I wanted to get it off because I wasn't allowed to tell anyone I was the new bad guy. And plus, I didn't want to turn up to my gym where I used to teach kids gymnastics with makeup on. You know? You know, and it would always stay around the eyes. But on Sleepy Hollow, I sort of hammed it up. I was like, yeah, keep the makeup on. I'm going to go home. Keep the teeth blackened. You know?
nice.
So I
People
did
got
it.
right out of your way.
Yeah, and I wanted to do that. But now if I was to do any makeup roles, I would like to stay in the makeup and go home so I could show my kids.
Oh, that's
You
so
know?
sweet.
And then drive home through LA, you know, and just like, get out of my way.
And someone would inevitably not realize it's you. They'd be like, "Is there a con in town? Is this cosplay?"
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, "No, it's me. It's me." Let's take a question over here.
Can Darth Maul throw lightning?
Can he throw lightning? That's a good question. You know, in my world, I think he can. You know, like the Emperor, you know, there was a story about the Force in, when I get to use the Force in Phantom Menace. Of course, I wanted to be a good guy as well. I grew up wanting to be the good guy, and I used to think, why did they ask me to be the bad guy? But I'm really glad they asked me to be Darth Maul. And in the script, I didn't have any Force. You know, I didn't use the Force in any way, and George put it in there for me, so I got to, you know, pick up the droid and smash the door with it. So whenever you watch it and you see my 2 fingers doing that, my Disney fingers, going and then moving it, I was like, yeah, I get to use the Force, just like Vader. You know? So that's why you see me, like, I really point. I go, that's my moment, you know?
That's a good question. Let's go over here.
I'd like to know what was the best part playing about Darth Maul?
Sorry, can you say that?
What was the best part you playing Darth Maul?
You know, now. You know,
Yeah.
being here now, getting to share the stories with everyone.
Can you show us one of your moves first, too?
I don't know. It's me. I have to warm up a little bit, you know. Got to build my ego a little bit more. So, you know.
Woo! Yes, let's see it, you guys. Woo! Do you see me actively scanning for like a lightsaber that works in this scenario? And I don't see one, but you know what?
Yeah. Where's the lightsabers at?
Oh,
Come
we do
on.
have one. Come here,
We
bring
do?
it up. Bring it up. Let's see this.
One that works, a real one.
Yeah, right.
No,
Okay, Disney fingers. Disney fingers.
Hey, we got a
Oh,
couple.
now can you can do them one. I mean,
Yeah,
this
let
is
me.
tough. Let's see. Oh,
That's nice.
very nice. Do not break this.
Do you know how to use it?
Nope.
Do you want to do something?
Nope. Okay, I'll figure it out. You've got the purple.
Oh, this is nice.
Just cut me down to pieces.
Here, look. Do
I
a
can
couple
see-
little spins. Your turn.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
You want to try it? I see another one now. I can maybe show you something.
Oh, yeah,
want.
if you
Would
know what?
mind?
Yes, I would like to. There was a green
Can I
one
borrow
floating around
another
out
one,
there.
please?
Oh, that one's.
Do you want to use the purple or do you want to use this one's a nice
Which
one.
one's less expensive?
Use this one. This is lighter.
Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna trust
Thank
him.
you.
Someone please record this. This will either go awesome or awful.
Oh, we'll do a little spinny. All right. So we're gonna just stand to the side. Okay, you hold it nice. That's it. Actually, we can do a little fight scene. Okay, so we'll just do it really basic. It's gonna be it's the 4. So you go 1 to this. So you're just gonna yeah, just to the side. Okay. So you're gonna go to the side. So I'm gonna attack you or come towards you, and you're gonna block it to the side. So we're just gonna meet together. 1, and then round the other side. Okay. There you go. Ready? 1, 2, and again. 1, 2, and then I'm gonna go down to the legs. And you're gonna meet me. 3, and then 4, and then we're gonna move away, and you're gonna do your best Jedi pose. You could be like, yeah, there you go. Cool. Cool. Cool, ready? Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you've done this before, haven't you? That was awesome. Good. Isn't she great? Thanks for letting us use your lightsaber. Actually, I'll show you 2. Here, watch this.
Thank you for asking that question. You made my year. Oh, yeah. Woo! Nice. Thank you, guys. That's
Practice a little bit.
net tomorrow. I'm going to show up in yoga pants
You did really
and
well.
a tank top. I will be ready.
Very elegant.
Thank you very
Doing that
much.
there. Very nice.
Skirt and heels. Okay, which I like to ping pong. Let's go over here.
So, I grew up with the prequel series, and you were kind of the guy who I admired as doing all the lightsaber fights.
Oh,
Is
thank
there
you.
one move as Darth Maul that you liked the most?
Well, everything I got to do for Maul was good. I used my martial art background to play the character. And because in Chinese, or in Wushu, when you're competing, you've got to show spirit in the eyes. But not anger or anything like that, just like it's called an empty stare. So you're looking, So I used that a lot for Maul, but I sort of over-exaggerated a little bit, like the old grandmasters you would see in movies where they do fight scenes, but they never look at you. So it'd be like... So I kind of sort of, that was my influence for Maul. And of course, doing the butterfly and the butterfly twist. Getting to do that because I learned how to do the twist from watching Kung Fu movies. And I used to, back when we had, I don't know if you know, video players.
Yeah, the good old days of VHS.
I'm only having a joke.
And I would also not like to brag or anything, but I can actually do all the moves
You can?
from all Star Wars movies
You can?
and all the battles, yeah.
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you spin it? Cool.
Wait, what's your background? Is it I mean, there's got to be a background like gymnastics or what was it?
He bought me a lightsaber for my birthday, and then
Guess what I'm getting my
Yeah.
daughter for Christmas? Because that's fantastic.
That's good. That's what I like to hear because I used to copy things in films. And that's how I learned. And I would pause and rewind, pause, freeze, slow-mo.
Back when you had to do it really slow too, you'd hit it and you'd go too far and you'd be like, damn it,
Yeah.
VHS so annoying.
And then you rip the tape would get chewed up.
Oh,
Thank you.
memories.
Good,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Keep it up, okay?
Nice.
I'd bring you up on stage if I had a double-bladed lightsaber, and you can show me some stuff.
Now look, he's like, does anybody have one? Let's go over here.
What is it like to go back and watch yourself act in the movies?
That's good. Yeah, good question. I don't always like watching myself because I come up with different. I do and I don't. So especially if I know I did a bad job or I wasn't quite myself. But I go back and watch Phantom Menace, and I'm captivated by Ewan's speed. Because I used to watch myself and go, I could do that better, or yeah, I've got a new idea. Why didn't I do that at the time? But I watch Ewan and I'm amazed, how quick he's going. So I really appreciate, working with Ewan and Liam, and there is other stuff that I go back and watch, and it brings back memories. I remember what I was thinking that day, what I was thinking when I was upside down, what food I wanted at the time. So it's
What food did you want at the time?
whatever anyone else was having, because
You couldn't eat it.
I couldn't eat it. Whenever I'm as Snake Eyes or Darth Maul, I always see the nice big platters, and you hear all these fancy stories about being on set and they have all the best food. Yeah, they did, but I never had it because I was always doing the action scenes, or I was in the hood, the helmet and stuff, and I could never eat because the last thing you want to do is eat when you're about to do a backflip. So that's what I remember, the thoughts of what I was thinking, and it does bring back good memories for me. And it's nice to be here now, because when I was filming Phantom Menace, I never thought in a million years I'd be sitting here now on stage talking about stories of what I've done. So it's really nice to be positive, have a positive influence on playing an evil character. So
That's a really good point, because you think about how iconic those movies are and that series is, and sort of what it did for all of us, really. And to have you sitting here on stage getting a chance to talk about it to people who grew up with these, who are introducing them to their children and moving forward. How old are your kids?
My daughter will be 11 this year. My son is 8.
So what of your movies have they seen, and how do you
Good, because
manage that?
I never talk about film stuff at home. You know, I never say, Daddy, because it's like.
Be good, kid, or else Darth Maul comes out.
But what did change it for me was when I was hustling in LA. We were moving out to LA, and I was trying to get jobs and trying to have meetings. So you have your headshots in the back. Yeah, I know it sounds really cheesy, but your car was pretty much your house, because you're traveling around a lot, different meetings. You want to make sure you have so I had some Darth Maul shots. So my wife was changing her diaper, and I hear this she wasn't even a year, but it was a different cry that I'd never heard before. And I'm like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? She's holding a picture of Darth Maul like this.
Oh.
She just you know how babies just pick up anything?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
And they were in the back, and she just, because I was in the front, I'm like, what's going on? That's different. You can tell with your kid. And she's holding this picture, and it's me going, And ever since then, I'm like, okay, because you're very protective when you're a parent.
Yeah.
So I made sure there was nothing like that around, and never spoke about Star Wars, never spoke about X-Men, because you're a dad. You're not going to be like, Daddy's a bad guy.
Yeah, right.
Kids don't, that's why it's interesting for me to meet different kids that have seen it when they were 4, and they love it, and they're like, cool. But when I landed Snake Eyes, I was like, Snake Eyes, da, 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 da. Running around, getting a bandana, and I'm like, Snake Eyes.
And your kids are like, Daddy.
Yeah, they're like, shut up. It was all about them. They're getting their swords out, and they're like, look at me. We tried to watch this first G.I. Joe movie, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
They didn't care about me. It was all about them, so it was great, So Snake Eyes was my redeeming role to play, to talk about what I've done,
Now, are your kids anything like you? Are you picking them off the ceiling in the drain pipes?
Yeah, well, we have a zip line at home, and I put it up.
I am coming to that birthday party. Get on the zip line. That's very, very cool.
I sort of got told off once, because when my son, because he was, I always threw my kids around, throw him up. All dads do the whole.
Yeah, but I bet he
spin
does
around.
it more.
But I was able, I was able to throw him up, and he was able to do stuff and then catch him. So we're at the park, and and so I was going, way, and he would go flip, and I catch him, and his parent went, oh my God, what are you doing? So I was like, I better not do this in public, child services around.
That's a great story.
I wasn't abusing him, but just you throw him up, and he do a spin, and then you catch him,
I can only imagine.
And now he's doing gymnastics 5 days a week, and he's a part of a team, and he's competing, and he's at gymnastic camp now, and he's flipping along.
Yeah. Tree, apple, very close together. Which side am I on?
That side.
Right over here.
Hi, George Lucas. How are you?
How you doing, George?
Hey.
Thanks for joining.
Doing good. Just want to say a big fan of yours. I really love your work, especially too as Darth Maul. But here's my question: with all of the origin movies that are being now released here soon by Disney, we like to have Darth Maul origin film. We like to be in it.
Oh,
also,
yeah.
Two, what we like the story to be about of Darth Maul.
About Darth Maul?
I mean, what?
I haven't read any of the extended universe or extended stories about Maul, but whatever it is, I want to do it. And I want to show the tattooed body, and maybe Maul can be, from what I did in the movie where he was silent and composed and sure of himself, he could maybe be a bit more aggressive, maybe a bit more. I think if he speaks too much, it might spoil it as well, because I think everyone's intrigued about how he didn't say a lot or he wanted to see more action. And I've told this story before, but it could be called The Quest for Legs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where he's on a speeder hoverboard, right? And he's got his double-bladed lightsaber, and it's on the quest for legs, and he's trying to find Obi-Wan. And so he's like, So we joked about that when we were on set, So yeah. So George, Quest for Legs.
All right, thank you so much. I'll get that to Disney.
Very good. Let's go over here.
What was your favorite thing about being Darth Maul?
Being here now, talking to everyone, is really, it's like what I said earlier, I was a gymnastic coach and martial art teacher from always assisting when I was like 15, 16, but when I was 18, I had classes and had kids that would look up to you because you were their teacher. So being a bad guy, that made me think a lot. What are my kids going to think about? You know, like the kids that I teach, how are they going to see you? You know, and so it's nice to be able to come here and talk about Darth Maul and other characters and speak to fellow martial artists or people who just watch the movies and pretend to be the characters. But it's getting to being Darth Maul is cool. You know, it's a lot of fun. It was nice to shave my hair every morning. I was like a big Velcro pad. Because when my hair would go through in stubble, my T-shirts would get stuck to my head. I don't know if anyone's experienced that, or if you're on a couch and you're like, you know, like
You're sticking the grocery list on the back of the head. You got this. You know, the honey-do list.
Yeah.
This, you know, I'm curious, given how much CGI technology and everything, and it's very apt to discuss it in the context of Star Wars, right, and what's coming. But I want to talk about what those sets were like to be on. We were chatting earlier with some folks who are, they're suspended from cables and upside down doing their own stunts and everything, and this character is built around your physical abilities. What did those sets actually look like when you were out there filming them?
They were phenomenal. Like being in the desert was unbelievable. Actually being there and filming that. And then we filmed everything in London, Italy. And it was just a massive, it's where they filmed all the Harry Potters and the James Bonds, these warehouses. And it was, all the walls were blue screen. And then we'd have the sets in the middle. So everything I did, I was actually on a set. And the end fight scene, we were on the platforms and then fight Obi-Wan in the laser beam room. We had to wear these funny socks on your shoes because it was so shiny.
Oh, sure.
There's blue things.
No scuffs, scuffs, yeah.
And so you're walking around. It felt weird. So, and I remember, this is the first time I said this, I just remember the story. You used to moonwalk with them. I'd be like, woo, because they were really slippy. But I felt weird. You're playing Darth Maul and you've got these big blue things on your feet. Big, you're not allowed to sort of mark up the floor,
But when you actually get started actively shooting, you've got to take them off or else you're going to kill yourself.
That's why I thought, well, why are we wearing them?
You're like shuffling out in bunny slippers. Okay. You're like, time to go. Let's go over here.
Yeah, my name is Joey. I'm a big fan of yours. I have a shirt with you on it.
Thank you.
I was wondering, how long did it take for you to train to be Darth Maul?
It's
happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, more gray hairs on my head.
August 23rd.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah, I appreciate all the tweets that everyone's been sending me on my birthday. It was really nice.
Oh, I do Facebook. Sorry.
I'm not on Facebook, so
I know, but
there's two people on there pretending to be me. So
no, I know it's not you.
Yeah.
That's good to clear the air on that.
Yeah. So it's not. That's why I got back on Twitter because people go, "Hey Ray, you Facebook," and I'm like, "I'm not on Facebook, so I've never been on it." So, not that I'm saying I'm better than that.
I go on.
I just don't have time. So
I go on IMDb, so I know your birthday.
All right, thank you. Going back to training.
How long does it take?
Well, when I met Nick Gillard, before I got the part, he was talking about, because I was hoping to get on this movie just in stunts or just to work. And then he says they're looking for someone to play this who's either a stuntman, actor, stuntman, but they want one person to do everything. And so I was like, great, it's never going to be me. And then when he showed me pictures of Darth Maul and with the double-bladed lightsaber, my mind just exploded with ideas. I was like, you could do this, you could do that, you could wrap it around your neck, you could throw it out, spin it. And Nick's face just lit up. And that was the first, it happened to me a few times in my career where I've seen a part and I just knew exactly what to do. But I didn't, when I saw the picture of Darth Maul, I didn't think I would look cool like that. I didn't think my face. So thank you. So
You're a very good-looking guy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's very sweet.
Thanks. Yeah, I've gone all red now. Quick, get some black makeup.
Yeah, just cover it up.
Great. I could use your help in settling a debate in my house between my two youngest sons, Darth Maul versus General Grievous. If you could put that into an end, that would make my life that much better.
Well, if you tell your sons that I've always been asked, if you could have a fight scene with any other Star Wars character, I always say General Grievous. Because he has many arms, many lightsabers, and I think it would be a good way to showcase how good Maul is. Because not only would he use a double-bladed, he would break them in half and use two singles.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm running through the cinematography of that in my mind. I don't know about you all over there. Okay, let's go over here.
How you doing?
Oh, hi.
My question is, if you weren't an actor, what else would you wanted to do besides being an actor?
Good question. I was at college for about 3 or 4 years for electrical engineering because my dad's an electrician and my uncle's an electrician, so I had to do that. I was pretty good at it, but I didn't enjoy doing it because I like training. I like competing. So my 2 goals when I was like 18 was either get into movies, work with Jackie Chan, be a movie star. But I don't think that now. That's what I was thinking. Like because Van Damme and oh yeah. I wanted to do stuff like that, and then or own my own gym and have a gym, a fitness place where people can come from all over the world, have all different styles of martial arts there, and I was going to call it a center of excellence, where there would be all different masters and people can come and learn. And I envisioned that as a kid. That's what I want to be the first person in the UK to have a big place like that. Because a lot of schools are either in church halls, or at schools, or church halls is mainly where all the martial arts schools normally happen, or the local sort of center. So I wanted to have my own place. It was either get into movies or be known for teaching. So it might still happen one day. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you initially, when you got into this, you wanted to be a movie star. And it's funny you said, but that was then. So what now? Like, when did that change now that you've kind of accomplished that goal?
Yeah, actually, it's getting the work. I wanted to be like the guys that I used to watch, do kung fu movies, action movies. That's all I wanted to do. And when I was younger, but as you get older and you have kids, you realize it's about the work and the fun stuff you can do. And so to me, it doesn't matter if I'm in makeup and in prosthetics. I just want to bring a character to life because it's like I'd rather be known for the work than be famous, Yeah. I would rather just do it and not be. I know it sounds really weird, but it's like I like to be able to still pick my nose.
Do that on the freeway in LA with all your makeup on.
Because that's one of my enjoyable moments, of picking your nose, And you have some good nose picking sometimes,
That's awesome. I'm curious, for you, when you're not watching or training or, outside of the realm of martial arts, what's your go-to movie? Romantic comedies? Like, what are you watching when you're not looking at someone doing awesome stuff on the screen?
I don't, because I have to, there's a time when I can watch martial art movies, and it has to be during the day. Because at night time is when you have your own time, kids are in bed, but I can't watch action movies at night time anymore.
Because you get up and do everything?
Yeah, because it pumps me up and I can't sleep. Yeah, and then I would be like, why wasn't I in that movie? Oh, I wish I was in that movie. And then you're like, or I'll be like, I want to train, but I can't go out to my garage and train because I'm going to wake up the neighbors. And I don't like training in quiet, so be ninja. So yeah, I like watch comedies. I like watching stuff, especially if I've met someone at a convention and I've met that person and got on really well. I want to watch them in something. Because then I admire them even more and watch them do their work and go, yeah, that guy's cool. And so it's nice to be able to do these shows and be able to meet other actors and then get to watch them on screen.
You can just tell that he's the guy you want at your barbecue, right? You could just tell. I love this. Let's go over to you here.
Okay, so in both theater and acting and martial arts, voice and facial features and expressions are very important. So in your role as Snake Eyes, how difficult was that for you? All of a sudden having no squeaking lines, no grunts or anything, and just having to completely work on movement.
A lot of the stuff that I do is movement anyway. I'm a big fan of Charlie Chaplin and all the old Buster Keaton movies. And in wushu, you tell a story with the forms that you perform, especially in the animal styles. And so with Snake Eyes, I had a whole dialogue in my head anyway. I remember like Marlon Wayans saying to me, because I was reading the lines, and because I have no lines, he was having a joke with me, and he's great. I love working on the first movie. And he goes, Snake. He always called me Snake. He goes, Snakey, why are you memorizing lines? You got no lines. And I said, yeah, but I want to know what you're saying so I can be in the story, So I have a whole conversation. It's a meditation thing for me as well when you're in the suit, what you're thinking of. And as soon as you put it on, you become Snake Eyes, And I always try and, like when I'm walking, get a little, not so much, but it's always, you're in the suit and you feel like, oh, yeah. It's important, to keep your posture and how you stand And if I was Snake Eyes for real, would I save the world? You know, I'd be like, da 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 da. You know?
Thank you.
Because there's kids out there, you know, kids out there watch it, and they, you know, there are real guys out there who are Snake Eyes, you know. Yeah. You know, they can do it. They can rappel and out there jumping out of helicopters and stuff like that. So there's the real deal is they're out there.
You ever gone skydiving or done any of that type of stuff?
I want to, but I'm scared in case I don't trust myself anymore. This is, you know, when they tell you, you know, in the sense of packing your own chute, I'll be like, yeah. You know? So
just roll out of it. You got this.
I wanna have that feeling of like getting scared and being in there, you know, are you ready? You know, and then about to jump out. I want to know what that feels like. But I always have these little daydreams. I'm gonna hit the propeller, or you know, I'm gonna jump up and bang my head before I go out and stuff.
So wisely, the answer is no.
No. I'd love to try that. You know what the birdmen do? They
the wingsuits.
Yeah.
The wing jumpers.
I want to experience that.
That's a whole next level, by the way. You should start with skydiving.
I want to experience that, but I'll just think about it.
That's cool.
Hi.
Hey.
Were there any mishaps or maybe slightly embarrassing mistakes that you're doing while doing like martial arts, jumping around, or anything while you're Snake Eyes? Or
Yeah, there is one, but there's one
yeah.
story for Snake Eyes, but I don't know if I want to. Don't diminish the coolness of Snake.
It'll be our secret. You could just tell me.
Just you guys, all right? So, in the because it was because I went after the job for Snake Eyes. I went in audition. I wanted to do this, and a lot of my friends said, "Why do you want to go after a role that you don't see your face and speak?" And I said, "You don't understand. This is important." So we went and had gun training by Rangers, Special Forces. We were all there together, shoot machine guns, learn everything correct, you know, pulling out, you know, everything was good. So I wanted to make sure I learned this properly because guns scare me. And so, you know, it became second nature. So in the scene, we'd already filmed other stuff, but the scene where I come out of the helicopter and you see Snake for the first time, that had to be iconic in my mind. You know, I was telling the guys, whatever I do has to be important because it's the first time you see Snake and it's going to set him up. And that's why I wanted to come down, take out a couple of Cobra guys in a blink of an eye without looking at them, and then blind shooting someone, the old cowboys, you know? That was in my head. So they pulled me up. I rehearsed the drop, but then when we got to set, we went up through the trees. They pulled me up even higher, even higher. I started going, ooh, what happens if the wire breaks? You know, there's no crash pads, and I had to land on a little platform on the hill. So I'm up through the tree, but I was thinking, when the fans see this is going to be wicked, you know? So we do it a few times, and the excitement gets the better of me because I'm excited, scared at the same time, but relieved because it's in dark, and I'm hitting some guys and doing the whole thing and getting really, wow, this is working, I'm doing it. And then on, I think, third or fourth take, I land, and I sort of got to pull my gun out because I couldn't unholster it and pull it out at the same time. It had to be slotted in a certain way because you know, it's got to be smooth. But it had to be clipped in so it wouldn't fall out when I'm upside down. So I got to do my thing, and I got to pull the gun out and go, bang! I was like, oh! I was like, all I could feel was like cold down my leg. And I was like, whoa! And then all the guys, and I was trying to be all cool, you know, like having the mud. You know? And I'm like, and then so a few guys said something to me, you know, like, you okay, Ray? You okay? And I said, I can't believe I did that. All the training I've had, and I shot my leg. Me, I did it. You know, because yeah, exactly. But I can't believe I did it. But it was scary because it was cold. The air, whoa. You know, I'm trying to be all cool, but the excitement got the better of me. And ever since then, I made sure that never happened again. You know?
Does that footage exist anywhere?
I don't know. Maybe on somewhere.
I'm just curious because I can't actually imagine it.
But the thing is, I shot my leg and then pulled my fingers out without the gun. You know, you know, just like being a true professional, I wanted to carry on. You know?
You're all Disney fingers.
Bang, bang. And there's another story with that was on the second movie, we're using the two signature machine guns. And so, you know, John Chu wanted us just to do the bang, bang noises. So we, you know, where Jinx comes out, shoots, I come out, and Dwayne Johnson comes out. So I'm like, bang, bang, pew, 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 pew. But I'm trying to get Dwayne's attention, yeah, being all silly. And Dwayne's got his massive machine gun, he looks over and he went, bang, doo, doo, doo. So we were all going bing, 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 bing.
Like your 8-year-old boys.
Yeah, you know when you go bang, bang, doo, 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 pew, pew.
That's a fabulous question.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for
The trip down memory lane.
Yeah, keep it a secret, right?
Of course.
We'll tell no one. Go ahead.
And I haven't told that. I don't think I've told that story because, you know, so I just remembered.
So I was just wondering, throughout all your films, what is one stunt that you did when you go back and you see it again, you're just like, that's what I'm most proud of? Like, what's your favorite stunt to go back and look like, damn, that looks awesome?
You know what I had a lot of fun doing was on Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Was my first movie. I was doubling for Raiden, and when we were in England, because I wasn't a stunt guy, so I wasn't allowed to do stunts, but I'm allowed to do martial art action for the actor. But when we got to Thailand, there's no union. So Pat Johnson comes up to me and he goes like, Ray, I know you're not a stunt guy and this is your first job, and but we're going to have some heavy stuff to do out here. We're going to have some air rams, we're going to have some ratchets, we're going to have wire stuff. And I'm like, yeah, fine, I'll do it, you know, because you're 21. Yeah, I'll do anything, and took pride on. And he says, I'll give you a chance. If you can't do it, I'm going to have someone else step in. Nah, come on, I'm going to do this. And but I was also nervous and scared at the same time, and I had the most fun. I wanted to buy one of these, but until I found out how dangerous these things are. It was an air ram. You go, and as soon as you step on it, the pressure shoots you. I felt like Superman, because I had to do the Raiden punch. You know when you fly and go, yeah, like this? I got to do it from here to there, fly. It was awesome. Like I had, and just land like this. But you step on it, and you see some pictures in Phantom Menace as me doing it, because thanks to Mortal Kombat, I became like confident on using it. But you just step on it like this, and then you fly. So I heard about a few thousand to buy. I was like, I'm going to buy one, take them home. I'm going to go to the park, and we're going to get the boys. You know, I'm going to jump. But then I found out that one of the special effects guys was dusting it off, and it blew up in his face and smashed him. And that dangerous. And that's when you tell me the dangers of things, I get worried. Just don't tell me. You know, don't say, Ray, you're going to be in a, you almost hit that wall in the wires and your head almost got smashed. Don't tell me that kind of stuff. You know, so being on Mortal Kombat was fun to do the air rounds. It was a lot of fun doing it. And I was working with a bunch of martial art guys, so it was great.
If you get one of those at your house, I'm telling you, I'm coming to the kid's birthday party. I'll bring presents. That sounds like a blast. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Noah, and my question is, out of all the movies in the Star Wars franchise, which is your personal favorite?
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Thank you.
For me, that movie changed my life as well. I was into, all kung fu stuff, ninja stuff, karate stuff. But when I went to see Star Wars, it was the first big movie. And then Superman was after that. It was around about the same time. And back in England, they would show you the first movie and then the second movie if they were coming up with the second one. So it was like a 4-hour night for me at the cinema. And that's when I remember. And I think that's why I throw my kids up when they're younger, because I always wanted to join the circus and have a circus family. But it was when Luke Skywalker was training with Yoda, and he had Yoda on his back, and he was doing the handstands and the flips. I was like, I can't wait to have kids. I'm going to do that one day. I was that kid that used to sit there and go, try and, I almost turn off the light with my mind. Okay. do it again. You have that thought in your head it's going to happen. That was me. That was that kid. It was like, always had a big imagination. I think that's why I love doing movies, because I get to tap into that imagination and have fun with it. And having kids now as well, you don't mind being goofy and, and picking your nose. So.
Picking your nose, yeah, exactly. It's funny you say that, because when I was a kid, I used to, and I don't know if you guys did this too, I used to try to will the pencil to roll across the table. I'd sit there and I would say, I knew I never happened. Never.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. That's why I heard you say that. I went, oh man, taking me back. Go ahead.
Sleepy Hollow has always been my favorite movie. Although now, after seeing Jin, I'm not sure if it's going to be able to take Sleepy Hollow's place.
Oh, yeah? Did you like it then?
I absolutely loved it. My pin is in the mail, so I have my own Guardians
cool.
pin on its way. I was wondering if there was any stories from set of that, and if we're going to be seeing the next installment of the Chronicle soon.
I hope so, because AJ, the director, explained this, the second one and the third one, and I would be in it, and which is good.
That's nice.
That's what first thing I want to hear. What about me? But he was fun to work with. He's a big Batman fan, and he had a lot of confidence in me. He didn't want me to show an action. He just wanted to show me doing my thing. But there was a sequence where I said, like, okay, you don't want me to do this Kung Fu style, but I can do it like a Tai Chi energy form of yin and yang. So I'm not hurting anyone, but I'm getting the bad energy out of them. So that's where it becomes like a dance. And I'm going through, and I'm gathering up all the evil spirit and getting it out of them.
I actually have that picture for you to sign later.
Cool. And it's funny you said about Jin, because you were saying about the pencil moment.
Yeah.
I was about to say, in a movie I was in, I did the whole pen trick across the table. And in the movie, my co-star, the characters go, how do you do that? And then I go, magnet. There's a magnet. You know? But I remember being on set and thinking, wow, yeah. I remember kids used to play tricks on me doing that. You know, when you get the kid that does, you should get the magnet and do it across the table and the paper clips and stuff. So yeah, see, we're all in the same wavelength here.
I love that. That's great. And I'm looking forward to you getting your picture signed. That's
thank you.
outstanding.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm always this hyperactive. Sorry.
I actually think it's great. I mean, it's even it's so much more fun to then think back on these movies and to go, oh yeah, that's right. And then now to get the backstory. I mean, again, I'm sorry you shot yourself in the leg, but to get the backstory, that makes watching those movies and those scenes that much more enjoyable. So I love that you're willing to share that stuff.
And I'm just remembering something else. Thanks.
Yes, please do.
So after the shooting in the leg, we go. We go to Prague and we should do the scenes on the Hummer through the streets. So now this is the first time the public are going to see G.I. Joe. It's in Prague, so the press are out. I'm on top of the Hummer. And I remember there's a move where I have to flick the sword and catch it and go whoosh. I did everything I could not to drop these swords. The last thing is Ray Park drops his sword, you know? That's like my pencil, you know, like something I'm used to, second nature. And I was nervous. I mean, because you're nervous, you're not quite flowing, but I wanted to make sure I got that cool flick up and stabbed that Hummer, and no one would see me mess up after me shooting my leg. I had to redeem myself.
You did it, too.
Unrelated to the questions, you should totally sign those 2 lightsabers.
Oh, yeah, bring them by the table and I'll sign them, of course. Yeah, thank you. I should have said, yeah, thank you.
The first question is, have you ever considered participating in American Ninja Warrior?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm training for now.
Yeah.
No, I've just built something at home where I've got a little. I built some P-bars because my son's doing gymnastics 5 days a week, and so I was building it for him, and I built it a bit too wide.
Oh, poor thing.
So it's for me. So I'm trying to build his now, and I built a little high bar so he can practice some moves on, and then I built a little rock face thing so he can do some stuff. And so yeah, I'd love to do it. I'd love to see kids do it. It'd be fun to see some kids do it. And yeah, I'd love to try it, you know.
My second question is, have you seen the online web series, I hate saying this, What If Episode 1 Were Good?
No, I haven't seen anything like that, no.
It's by Belated Media, and the guy makes you one of the main characters.
Oh,
to
really?
the point you have speaking roles.
Oh.
Oh, yeah?
So you should check it out. He'd probably love the traffic.
Yeah, I'll check it out, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Great
thank
tip.
you.
That's very cool. Guys, we have about 5 minutes left before we have to clear the room. Let's go over here.
So you're kind of too high profile to go back to being Toad. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'd do Toad in a heartbeat.
But
Don't you people ever die?
But
Be like, I just spoiled it for myself. Brian Singson. No, Ray's not Toad.
what if you were to cross the aisle and be a DC, maybe be a hero? What's your preference? Where do you want to be?
You know, I'd love to be. I don't know if it's DC, but Danny Rand. You know, Iron Fist. You know, because I was tapped in to do that many years ago. Have a 3-picture deal. So I still see. I know it won't happen for me, but I'd love to. In my mind, my fantasy, I'm Iron Fist, Kung Lung. But I don't know. I've always said I'd love to get back fist by Batman. You know, just like my one little 15 minutes of fame or 2 seconds. You know, Batman's fighting and I run in. And then down. That's it. That's what I want. I just want to be poof by Batman.
You'll get credited knockout, dude.
Yeah. I'll ham it up. I'll be like, yeah, wow. Twitch and everything, you know. So I don't know. If you've got any suggestions, that'd be great.
Jason Todd, Red Hood.
Oh, yeah?
There you go.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate it.
I was wondering, of everything you've done, who is your favorite opponent to fight?
Good question. But Young Hung Lee was awesome to work with twice and do fight scenes with. He's phenomenal, a great actor, super cool guy. He plays Storm Shadow in both G.I. Joe movies. But I did an episode of Nikita, and I got to do a fight scene with Devon Sawa. He is awesome. And I tell you, that felt real. You know, because I don't do any jiu-jitsu or anything like that, or locking up or anything. But he knows his stuff as well, and it was a very physical fight scene to do. Very super nice guy, I really like him. But you know, it kept me on my toes, you know. And also working with Will Hun Lee as well in King of Fighters, he's phenomenal as well. So I've got to work with some good people. Everyone I've worked with has been, I just feel so lucky to be doing it, and I get sort of, not starstruck, but I'm in awe, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm working with him, you know. So I was like that on Heroes. I was doing a scene with Robert Nepper, and it was my first time on set, so I'm a little nervous, excited at the same time. Still couldn't believe that I was there. So I'm watching Robert, we're rehearsing, and so I'm in the scene, it's where he chokes me out and stuff like that. And that fear was for real, because I was like, oh, it's Robert Nepper. But I remember like watching him, and I had a TV moment. I was just watching him, I can't believe it. It's him. So I'm like, I had a live picture in front of me, and then it was my turn for lines. I was so, oh. So luckily we broke for lunch, and I was so wooden, and I'm in there punching my face and go, come on, Ray, you can do this, only one line. That's all you have to say, you know? And it was like, because I was so caught up in the moment. So after lunch, if anyone could hear me in my trailer, it would have been funny. I'm sure they did. And I'm like, come on. And I go back after lunch, and I say to him, like, I'm really sorry, but I had a fanboy moment, and I just got caught up on it. And he goes, no, it's all right. I just thought, you know, who's this kid? You know, like he was really cool about it. And then after that, I was fine. I just had to be honest and said, look, I was wooden, I was rubbish. It won't happen again. And so I learned a lot by working with Robert and some of the other cast members from Heroes. It sort of helped, you know, I gained valuable experience on that TV show. I'm so grateful for it.
Very good. Last question over here.
Oh, that's intimidating. All right, so if lightsaber was not involved, Toad versus Darth Maul, who'd win?
I don't know. Who do you think?
I got Disney fingers.
If it was all physical, I'd say almost a draw between the two.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a fighting with myself, wouldn't it?
You fight yourself.
That's good.
It's like the Superman movie, you know, when the bad side comes out. I remember that scaring me as a kid, because the bad Superman looked scary. And then it made you think the good Superman was even scarier because he was good, and he didn't show that evil side. So when you saw that bad side of him, that was part of him, you know. And I remember as a kid, it really influenced me, because I was into all the superhero stuff as well as a kid. But I get asked that a lot, you know, who would win Darth Maul Snake Eyes? But, you know, I'm always like, Snake Eyes is more in the real world, and Darth Maul was in, it depends what planet they're fighting on, you know. I think it'd be a tie.
All right, I'm sneaking in for a picture before we clear this room. Or look right here. Hi! I'm such an idiot, but I love it. It's all good. You guys, Ray Park, give it up for Ray Park. Woo!
Thank you.
May the force be with you.